In this episode, part 2 of our mini-series on products, we're going to look at shrimp foods. We'll look at a variety of shrimp foods, what I use, why I use them, and ultimately which is my favourite. So with all that being said and done, let's start on variety. And to me, different shrimp foods and feeding different shrimp foods offers shrimp a variety. Different shrimp foods do different things in my opinion, which is why I use a range of shrimp foods to feed my shrimp. I'll go through those. I'll start with the basics, I'll go on to some specialised foods, and ultimately we'll end up with what I personally use as my favourite food. So the first set of foods that I want to use and talk about are everyday foods. There's a range of these, and even with the everyday foods I use a variety of those. So some of those that I use are Quail Drop Vital. I also use Kabadi Ebi Spirulina pellet as a daily feed, or a regular feed, and likewise I use Ebidama Shirikuru or Shirikura Ebidama as a sort of all-in daily feed. There are others, and I do sell others. So one of those is Shrimps Forever, I think it's called Daily, and again I use these, I rotate them just to give a bit of variety. The second set of foods that I want to talk about are specialist foods, not necessarily specialist as in specialist shrimp, but they do certain things such as colour enhancers. I've got and use quite a few different white enhancing products on the market. So SL Aqua More White, I use Quail Drop Vital White, which is sort of a daily feed for white bay shrimp, and likewise I also use Royal Shrimps white tabs. That's a friend of mine, Dan, who produces those. Those are really good, and all of these we sell. And again, I use sort of all of these white ones because I've got quite a few white shrimp or shrimp with white pigmentation in my feeding regime, so everything gets rotated. On top of those, we also sell a range of Shrimp Nature colour enhancing. So in their range they do a white, a blue, a red and a yellow. I'd highly recommend the red, blue and yellow towards Neocaridina, but they also work, or that you can also feed those to Caridina shrimp. Within this bracket of specialist foods, I'd also put in the breed enhancing foods. So the breed enhancing foods such as Quail Drop Breed, there's some from the Shrimps Forever range, a breed one, and they also do a growth which is supposed to enhance shrimp growth as well. And all of these are in the specialist sort of categories, but variety, I'm a real strong believer in variety. Is sort of the spice of life, as the thumbnail suggests. What I'd suggest as well is on top of this you can feed veg, so things such as blanched spinach, blanched broccoli. You can sort of feed these within your regimes, mulberry leaves, etc. And from the botanicals perspective, botanicals get eaten, certain botanicals get grazed on and eaten, and they produce biofilm. So I'd also class that probably in the specialist range. There are lots of other stuff that I sell that I use, such as algae based shrimp foods, Quail Drop algae, there's spirulina pellets, there's algae pellets in other brands. And just talking about all of the shrimp foods really, if you follow this channel because you keep isopods, then all of the shrimp foods and the fish foods I sell do get eaten by isopods, and I know because I use them, and a friend of mine uses those as well. So that would be my sort of second set of shrimp foods, what I'd class in this video as specialist or more specialist. And then the final part of that, I'd go, in fact there's probably two parts here. So the other one is baby shrimp food. I stock a couple of those, so Quail Drop Piku, and I also stock the Shrimp Nature ones do a baby. My preferred one, if I'm honest, for those is the SL Aqua More Baby, and that's probably my best seller. So we stock all these, and I do use those. So when I use these these baby foods is if I see buried shrimp, I put sort of a little tiny pinch in. The spoons come with most of them. Put a tiny pinch in, other shrimp will eat it. The idea of a baby food is because they're very small particles, it goes everywhere, and instead of competing for food, like if you put a pellet in and you see the shrimp ball, that gives the babies opportunity to feed. What doesn't get eaten breaks down and creates biofilm. People use flaked fish food, crumbled fish flakes to do that. I personally just prefer the convenience of a powdered food. So I do feed those, and again, don't overfeed your shrimp. It'll be a teaspoon once, the little measuring spoon once, twice a week, and depending on how many babies I've got, and I'd probably continue that until those juveniles are actually getting on the pellet and part of the shrimp ball. My final part to this then is additives such as SL Aqua. I call them a tea bag, but it's like a botanical bag that you drop in the tank, it soaks and it produces biofilm. And not only do all the shrimp eat that creates good biofilm for if you're starting an aquarium, you can use them, and you can also sort of support juvenile growth with those. They come in 3 sizes. I'm just going to grab one because I can't remember the name of them. Vitality bags. So they're called Vitality bags. We stock 3 different sizes: small, medium and large. Small and medium are probably ideal for most keepers and breeders, but if you've got some big tanks with lots and lots of shrimp, then the large would work for you guys as well. So finishing then, let's talk about my favourite, I suppose. So I'm going to choose a favourite from one of the everyday type, and my favourite food by far is Shirokura Ebidama. I'll put some video on that's not edited, it's not cut, it's not sped up, it's literally from dropping a pellet in the tank, and I'll do some video of sort of the tank response. Now it takes a few seconds for the shrimps to respond, but once whatever that gives off as a food to get a food response in the tank becomes active, see for yourself, watch the videos. So that comes to the end of part 2 of this series. If you've enjoyed this or any other of our content, you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. We do put out weekly videos. We put out some shorts and some midweek videos on occasion, and we would really appreciate your help in subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the next bit of video, and we'll speak next time.